welcome to the Black Friday 2019 Walmart Breakdown. My name is Samuel Adams, and I love giving you guys a good deal. And so I thought that this year, instead of making one big video highlighting all of the deals from across the major retailers, that I would make one video for each individual retailer, giving a step-by-step guide for each individual big highlight for the ad itself. More of a walkthrough rather than a highlights video. As I mentioned, this is going to be primarily focused on gaming and a little bit of tech, so I might not hit the highlights that you are looking for, and that is perfectly okay. I would encourage you to check out the ad for yourself because, hey, what says holidays like checking out the Black Friday ad? But there is plenty of stuff to dive into for today's Walmart ad, and without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So first off, on the front page, you do have the big TVs as to be expected. There are probably 2 or 3 of these per store, so I wouldn't get your hopes up, but I did want to point out the Apple Watch Series 3 is $129. That is a very good deal. I paid $100 for my Fitbit, and it has very few features as compared to the Apple Watch Series 3. So if you are in the market for something to track your fitness, then by all means, you should definitely check out the Apple Watch Series 3 at Walmart if you can find it. Now, the first big standout that we see in the Walmart ad in terms of gaming is this PlayStation 4 1TB bundle. Now, this is something you are going to be seeing throughout many different ads. This tends to be the big standout for this year's Black Friday offering and really this year's holiday offering. It does include the 1TB PlayStation 4 console on top of The Last of Us Remastered, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition, which includes the Frozen Wilds DLC. So if you are looking for something that has hundreds of hours of gameplay packed into one affordable package, then the $200 PlayStation 4 1TB bundle is definitely going to be one that you should check out. Now, that's pretty much all for gaming until we get to the actual gaming section of the ad itself, which is jam-packed, as you would expect, with the biggest deals you can possibly imagine from Walmart. Now, up in the top left-hand corner is another fantastic console offering depending on what you are looking for. Now, this is the Xbox One S 1TB all-digital edition console, and if you aren't paying attention, I want to make it very clear, this does not have an optical disc drive. You cannot put a Blu-ray disc in, you cannot put any kind of disc into this piece of hardware. It does not have a disc drive. So that means everything that you buy from here on out is going to be digital, and this is fantastic for a specific type of person. If you have a good internet connection with a high download speed, then this one is going to be ideal for you. Now, this bundle does include a couple of games. You get Minecraft, Forza Horizon 3, and Sea of Thieves. Of course, Sea of Thieves primarily needs that Xbox Live Gold subscription, which is sold separately. But at the same time, if you do want to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, which is a very good subscription service for those that play on Xbox, then by all means, this is a very affordable way to get into the world of gaming and get some of this year's biggest games for a very affordable price, especially if you go in on that Game Pass, which I believe there is a free offer available for every brand new console, at least 1 week, if not 2, whenever you get this piece of hardware. Now, again, for $150, it's coming in $50 cheaper than the PlayStation 4 offering, which is reiterated on this page as well. But at the same time, it depends on what team you want to play for. You know, you want to be on Xbox, you want to be on PlayStation. At the end of the day, they're both becoming very synonymous with each other, but if I had to choose one of these consoles, it's probably going to be the PlayStation 4, just because those games are so good. In addition to the base cheap consoles, you do have a couple of other things worth mentioning here. You do have the Xbox One X 1TB console with Gears 5 on top of the first Gears 4 games for $350. That's a pretty good deal for those that want to get something to grind over the holiday season. That is 5 games bundled in with the most powerful console on the market right now. And again, I would reiterate, you can get Game Pass, and there are a ton of games you get with your Xbox One. In addition, if you did want to get the new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game, you can get the Xbox One S 1TB with that for $199, saving you roughly $100. And this model does have the disc drive, so you can get some games that are used, or you can keep your physical collection. Now, for those that are in the market for a Nintendo Switch, you need to be very wary this holiday season because there is a brand new SKU of the Nintendo Switch out that does have a better battery life, and many retailers are trying to use Black Friday as a way to push off that older model of the Nintendo Switch so that they can just replace their stock with the brand new model. This one from Walmart, I believe, is actually the older model of the Nintendo Switch. I could be mistaken on that. Be sure to check with your SKU number whenever you do get a box in your hands before you buy, but definitely be wary. And again, for $2.99, this isn't that good of a deal. So then transitioning down into the rest of the games themselves, Modern Warfare is only $38, a game that just came out a couple of weeks back, one of my favorite games of the year, a phenomenal experience when it comes to a first-person shooter set in the modern day. And on top of that, if you buy from Walmart, you do get 3 hours of double XP, which definitely does bump up the value you get with your purchase here. And again, this is the lowest price you are going to see on a Call of Duty game this entire holiday season. Now, as to be expected, Walmart has broken down their games offerings into tiers based on price. And so the $30 tier does have a couple of games that are worth checking out. Specifically looking at the ad, you do have Need for Speed Heat, a brand new racing game that has just launched. On top of that, last year's Red Dead Redemption 2 on console also running for $30. Zelda Breath of the Wild would pair nicely with a Nintendo Switch if you happen to get one, and Gears 5 is also up there for $30. Now, when it comes to Ghost Recon Breakpoint, another one that is on the front page here, I would definitely recommend giving it a look. Again, it's a game that has a lot coming down the line, but not quite where it needs to be right now. You could probably get this one lower if you wait for just a little while. And of course, Borderlands 3 for $30, a very, very good deal. And on top of that, if you do head over to the Walmart website, you can check out the entire offering if you did want to see if anything else did strike your fancy. Monster Hunter World Iceborne also standing out as a pretty good deal there. In addition to the $30 tier, you do have most sports games that came out this year for, again, $27, which is a couple of bucks off of that. So you got your Madden, your NBA 2K, your FIFA, and your WWE, which is a broken game. Very, very broken game. Wouldn't recommend that one. But as far as sports games go, running $27. Then the $25 tier has some games that are worth mentioning, but nothing that's really standing out to me. Of course, on the homepage, you do have Spyro the Reignited Trilogy sitting there on the Nintendo Switch. In addition to that, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice and last year's Black Ops 4 for $25 a piece. Not too bad. On top of that, you do have a couple of games like Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, one of the biggest racers of the year, up for a nomination for the Game Awards coming on December the 12th. And then Mortal Kombat 11, a pretty good game, Forza Horizon 4, plenty of older games mixed in with some newer games for that $25 tier. Now, the $20 tier is where things get juicy because you do have some games that are very, very big games of the year and, of course, of the generation available for the very affordable price of a hot... Who's on that one? Not Benjamin, that's $100. Jackson, there we go. Metro Exodus for $20, a very good deal. One of the most beautiful games ever released on consoles is only going to be $20. On top of that, Devil May Cry 5, another nominee for multiple game awards this year, is also going to be $20. Then you have some older ones mixed in there, like Fallout 4 Game of the Year. I would not recommend Just Cause 4, but then Resident Evil 2 for $20. A very quality game. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a game you can dump hundreds of hours into. And of course, then you have Days Gone, one of Ben Studios' biggest games, of course, pretty much the biggest game they released to date, and another big release for 2019. On top of that, you have The Division 2 and Walmart's exclusive version of Kingdom Hearts 3. So for the $20 tier, I think this is the standout offering. Again, there are so many games that are worth checking out here across a variety of consoles. But without a doubt, you should dive in and give them all a look. If I had to recommend one for $20, probably Resident Evil 2's remake. Very, very good game there. In addition to this, there is the $15 tier, which includes some older games and some newer games. Of course, we have Assassin's Creed 3's remaster that hit the Nintendo Switch earlier this year for, again, $15. Not that bad of a deal. Trials Rising on the Switch, a good deal as well. Then some older games mixed in here. You have Halo 5 Guardians, a solid shooter. Skate 3 on the Xbox 360, of course, backwards compatible with the Xbox One. PUBG is going to be running $15, which is pretty much standard for this day and age. And then you begin to get older and older as time goes on. But very interesting to see Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy included in the $15 tier. I didn't notice that one on the front page, but there it is. That's a pretty good deal in and of itself right there. Also, very notable, didn't want to let this one slip us by. Let's talk about the fact that these 3 PlayStation hits are going to be $15 a piece, in addition to one of the best games that I have played this generation, Marvel's Spider-Man, on the $15 tier as well. Lots to break down here, but the $15 tier is beginning to become much more enticing as I take a deeper look. So if I had to choose between the $20 tier and the $15 tier, it would be very difficult. Definitely go hard on these two price tiers because there are a lot of good games here. You can get some of this year's biggest games and some of the generation's best games all under 20 bucks or at 20 bucks. Very much so worth diving into. Now, I did want to say if you are in the market for a brand new controller, the prices don't really fluctuate that much during the holiday season. Generally, you can find them for 40 bucks on Black Friday, which is what we find here. The Xbox One controller and the DualShock 4 are both going to be 40 bucks a piece, and on top of that, there is a knockoff retro wireless controller for 30 bucks on the Nintendo Switch platform if you did want to get something to play games on that feels just a little bit different than the standard Joy-Con. Now, there is a Turtle Beach Recon Universal Gaming headset here for 25 bucks. Not necessarily that great. It's fine if you might be looking for something that's an entry-level kind of offering, something for kids. This would be a pretty good offer, but on top of this, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade machine for $350. This just ties the room together, honestly. Before we conclude today's Black Friday 2019 breakdown, I did want to say this MSI Optix G27C4 gaming monitor is the one that I'm using right now. In fact, I'm reading the ad on this monitor, and I've had it for a little over a year. A very good monitor, I must admit, and so I think I got mine for around $250. For $178, a very good deal. Now, it is worth noting, it does have AMD's FreeSync, and it is 165 Hz when it comes to the refresh rate, but I will say it is only 1080p, so take that into consideration. But I'm a pretty big fan of it, and you might be as well. As far as this laptop goes, it looks like it's a pretty middle-of-the-road laptop. For $500, you get an NVIDIA GTX 1050, which is fine. It's acceptable in today's day and age for a mobile gaming experience. It's a 15.6-inch laptop, and on top of that, you do have a 256GB SSD, which is not the best, not the worst. Probably would do a pass on this one, but if you are pressed for a gaming laptop this holiday season, a $500 HP Pavilion might not be horrible. Definitely not the best, though. But that rounds out this year's Walmart Black Friday roundup. Please let me know if I missed any of the biggest deals out here in the Walmart. But that rounds out this year's Walmart Black Friday roundup. Please let me know if I missed any of the biggest deals. I think I pretty much hit the highlights. But in the comments, let me know what you are going to be going after when the big day is done. But that rounds out this year's Walmart Black Friday recap. I do hope you enjoyed the video and that I did turn you on to some pretty good deals, but let me know what you are going to be going after, and on top of that, do highlight anything that I might have missed in the comment section down below. I know that we would all appreciate it. Now, I'll be back tomorrow with a guide for the Best Buy ad, but until then, have a fantastic one, and peace.